Hello everyone and welcome to Rise Tribe. Today we are doing a mini interview. So not our standard podcast style, but we are here chatting with the amazing Irene about Discover Your Superpowers, which is our first course that we've just done a beta launch with. So we've done a 6-week program and Irene has been one of our amazing attendees, and yeah, it's just been really great. So Kirsty, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, hi Irene. And
Hello.
isn't it amazing? Like, we have been meeting on a Thursday evening for the last 6 weeks, and here we are on a Thursday evening as we
I
record
know.
right now. And it feels like, oh, we've got the girls back together again. And yeah, so it's just really lovely to see you, Irene. And thank you so much for coming on and just sharing your experience with the people that are listening, to our listeners, about Discover Your Superpowers. So Irene, I'll just I'll kick off if that's okay. So I know Sam, you know Sam from Mexico days. So when Sam invited you on to this course, Discover Your Superpowers, did you have any sort of expectations or what this was going to be about?
I didn't really have expectations. It was very interesting because, I do believe that there's a purpose for our existence. And this purpose can vary, can evolve, can move a little bit, but you have to have a purpose. I think that people die immediately, get sick and die immediately when they feel like the purpose for living has ended. So when Sam told me briefly about what this was about, I always have thought that digging in and, taking a moment to reflect on our lives and what has happened and what is happening at this moment and where we're at is important. So I feel very grateful. It's funny that it's Thanksgiving tonight in the United States.
It is.
I feel very grateful with both of you for having held the space and put this together. And I understand that this was a lot of work for you. And I am also grateful for having had the opportunity it was like a group therapy, actually. It was very interesting because, it was also interesting that there were women from many different places, from many different backgrounds and type of education and everything. And I thought it was, a privilege. I felt like I was privileged to be part of this group.
That's so beautiful.
Like you say, Irene, there was different age groups, different life experiences, and different countries, which comes with different cultures. And that was the bit that myself and Sam totally didn't fully grasp when we wrote the course, because we wrote the course and we did the course ourselves and we were like, this is good. But then adding the live sessions, whoa, that took it to a whole nother level, a whole nother dimension. Like you say, it was like group therapy where everybody could just be so open and vulnerable. Is that how you felt? How did you feel within those calls?
Absolutely. When it started, I thought it was going to be less profound. But people started to really open themselves to parts of their lives that were very, very vulnerable, and that some of them we all have had situations, right? Yeah. Which was one of the things we spoke about when we spoke about the challenges and all of this. Well, you come to a certain age in which you have gone through things, but it was very interesting how some of them really fast started to open themselves and talk about deep situations that they've gone through. So I really like this type of, how can I call it, when women get together, because we all work with each person's situations.
Yeah.
So even if it's her, the one that lived the feeling abandoned or whatever, you know, we also feel it and we also work it. So it's a way of healing so many things at so many levels that, you know, when women open themselves, I believe that the reason why women live more than men in a general way is because of this, because we open ourselves and we talk about what is deep inside our hearts, even when speaking about it is difficult, right?
Absolutely. And I think firstly, like, people being vulnerable, we spoke about this before, enables other people to be vulnerable. And what really, really shone for me is the support that everyone gave each other. It wasn't just Kirsty and I sat there facilitating and leading. Everyone stepped in and helped everyone else. And just watching people go, oh, I'm not alone. Other people are feeling that. For me, it felt like a sacred women's circle online.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that we were going to be able to achieve that depth.
Yes.
So that was magical for me.
Absolutely, yes.
I mean,
really, really lovely.
What were your main takeaways from the program? What did you personally get from it?
Yes, there were many things that I got from it. As I say, one of the things I got was the feeling of being there for other people and other people being there for me. But it was also each one of the modules were very interesting in a way in which we dove into what has been going on through our lives in many different aspects and many different perspectives, because one same module with different aspects to reflect upon were seen very differently by each one of us. So that helped us look at different perspectives on the same subject. Very, yes, in a way it was very enriching to be able to listen to other women, different ages, different, professions, different everything, finding in their hearts sort of what their purpose has been and what could follow. So for me, that was, as I told you, I've always, I believe that I'm this inquirer. I really like to investigate and, research more about things and not just go with the first thing that is given to me, but other perspective. So I had read about Ikigai and there's another one that is from Netherlands, I think, another philosophy. And there are many philosophies from different places that talk about this type of thing. I do believe that there's a generation that didn't exist before and that is being formed in these years, in these times. Like when, in the, I don't know, 1800s, adolescence didn't exist because boys and girls married so young that they didn't really have the opportunity to go through adolescence until they started to go to school at that age. And that's where adolescence, as it is, as we know it, started to be. Now there's the same sort of thing is happening right now to men and women, also men, that are in their 50s, 60s, even 70s, and still so strong and so capable. Like before someone in their 60s was an old person. And now someone in their 60s is not an old person.
Super young.
It's a strong person with strength, with a lot to give still, but maybe already retired, or maybe. So this is a new generation that is being formed of people that still can give a lot, but have finished the phase of their lives. So I believe that this type of workshop that you've developed is really, really important, because people have to find that even though they finished what they, many times during our lives, we don't do that which we think is our dharma, right?
Yeah.
We end up doing something else. But then there comes this beautiful opportunity in which you're over 50 and you're still young, you're still strong, but you do have the experience, which is good. And you can give a lot. There's a lot that we can actually give if we do find that which will make us very happy while doing it, and will help us keep on developing while helping others.
That's so beautiful. So what I'm really sort of seeing from that then is that it's almost a rediscovery of your superpowers, and then finding something, either you're reigniting an old passion that you may have lost, or you're finding a new one at that particular time in your life, and then having the opportunity to work out how to pursue that and find a way to use these beautiful superpowers that we're talking about, and passions. I really love that, the way you've just described that. Thank you.
To give back, no, in a way, I think that is very important. There has to be a moment in our lives, maybe all of them, the entire life, in which we are here for service, right? But many times we don't really have that opportunity because you're too busy, because you have young kids, because you're running up and down, you don't have much of this moment in which you are thankful for what life has given you and ready to give back. So I think this is one of the things that is very important while redefining your purpose at this stage.
Yeah.
Oh, Irene, sorry, I just have to jump in there. That is just brought another layer to this program that I hadn't even seen until you've really just spelt that and so articulately like shared with us that, you know, it's a discovery, but maybe it's a rediscovery as well, and that we're always rediscovering ourselves no matter what age you are at. Thank you, Irene. That's it. Do you know what this? It's almost like a gift that just keeps giving, and there's just, like you said, you know, it was like unexpectedly profound. That there's just so many layers to a program. You know, myself and Sam put it together, and we thought it would give this, but it's just been giving so much more to different individuals on a different level. And how you were saying, you know, everybody came with a different lens to the module, almost like, and bringing everybody else's lenses to the world and to this module just really opened it up. So it took it from like that one dimension to that 5 dimension, and how we could all learn from everybody's different perspectives. It was just really magical.
So I think that if we actually find this purpose and this enjoyable thing we can do while giving, while being at service, it's just a beautiful way to, you know, continue this path that we started. Many times when we're young, we're not very sure that we're doing what we're meant to do. And we just do it because that's what life brings, right? Whether you have children or you're working at this or that, many people live many unhappy years. And the idea is that now that this new opportunity of a new generation that didn't exist before, because some of us, you know, have arrived to a certain age, you're not even a grandparent yet, you're still looking good, you're still feeling good, and there's so much that we can give. and we have to do it. It's a must, especially in a moment in which there are so many things happening in the world that we have not much input on. Like there isn't much that we can actually do in a bigger level, but there's a lot we can do in an individual level.
Absolutely.
So in these days, it is very important that we continue to give, to set new rules, to set new ideas, to set new perspectives, and to hold our hands together and continue walking.
I love that. Also, like, I feel there is a shift, and I don't know that it is just a certain age. I think it's across ages. This new generation that you're talking about, I think it is actually across ages, and many people are asking, like, what is my purpose now? And they're not so indoctrinated into the systems. They're kind of reaching out of that. So having somewhere to come and explore something like this with a multi-age group of women and getting the wisdom and the fresh ideas and the new ideas to me, that's a really lovely, and collaboration is something that Kirsty and I have spoken about, and that's what we feel Rise Tribe is we're coming together. It's not a competition anymore. It's how can we link arms, come together and move forwards with the world in the position that it's in. And yeah, I just think that's really beautiful. The points that you've raised, it kind of transcends all ages for me. It was a real mixed group of people, and I think everyone got something different out of it. It was just magic. Yeah, it was just an amazing experience for Kirsty and I to witness everyone come and give so much, and giving, like you say, with a passion behind it. We're not just burning ourselves out because we feel that we've been programmed that we've got to give. We're actually having a passion behind that, which is so much more powerful for us as well as individuals. So yeah.
So and then again, it's a moment in which, there's a window that is being opened that was not open before. There's a portal, like I would call it.
Yeah.
Because, we are being called to go back in and how can I say that? Think about the certainties that we've always had.
Yeah.
And understand that they are uncertain. Understand that nothing is set.
Yeah.
And that we should, probably really work with ourselves within so that we will not replicate the same mistakes moving forward as a society.
Absolutely.
And that really requires to jump in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, myself and Sam have had many conversations about, like in the personal development world, for sure, there are these gurus, that have written books, are putting courses on, and, they've got a massive following and almost like teaching people how to think. And this self-discovery is, as we all know, we've got a guru within us. It's just giving ourselves time and space to do this work, to have that reflection time, to actually look at what we've overcome, how we've done that, so that we can use that wisdom that we've experienced to take forward and share with others. So, I like to sort of see this as it's almost like a self-love time. And I think a lot of people think of self-love as being candles and Epsom salts and, just meditation. But actually, self-love can also be doing the gritty, gnarly work of, uncovering, the gold. If we've watched The Hero's Journey, there's gold, we're all that gold within us. We've just had all this cement around us. And this has been a real time to just chip away at the cement to really find the gold within us. What do you feel about that?
Which is many times painful, no? Many times the process is people. So doing it in a group like we did, I felt like, you know, there could be a second and a third with the same group of people, and still keep on digging, because there's so much. There's so much. So yes, that it was very interesting. It was very nurturing. And thank you for putting it together.
I mean, that's so sweet of you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming and just sharing you. And so I want to ask, I see I've got something I want to say, but what was the biggest light bulb, or the biggest moment for you, or self-realization, or what was the biggest thing that you took away from the course for yourself?
I will have to say that it was a moment in which Ramona told me how she saw me. We've met not enough, not a lot, but I tend to be shy, especially when somebody's telling me things like that. But you know, the way in which she expressed how she sees me was, you know, it really moved me. Yeah.
Now with that in mind, Irene, do you now look at yourself in a different light?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It was
I could cry right now.
I know. Like
me too. It was very beautiful, because, you know, also because she's going through such a process. So much pain and everything. And the fact that she can see the best in others. It was just very beautiful.
It was beautiful on many levels, that moment, actually. For me, as a very close friend of Romana's, watching that and then watching you absorb and actually receive, because you really are such a giving person, and actually seeing you receive that, I was like, yes, come on. And so I know for me, I really just throughout the whole course saw you as a wisdom giver, like a giver of wisdom. And I'm just like, just share this is beautiful. So we know you're going to come on the full podcast with us, but has this given you how has this helped you in terms of, is this going to change how you share yourself going forwards?
I think it has to, yes. Like exactly what I said that day, you know. Yes, I'm shy. Yes, certain things are difficult for me. And I tend to, like we all do, you know, when we were talking about this, it was like, we're all vulnerable at so many levels, so many times. But we just have to throw ourselves to the ring and give whatever we have inside of us. And that's it. Because as I was saying, there comes a moment in which you just have to give back all that we have received.
And also, Irene, you've got too much awareness now. You've got too much awareness not to fall back into that old way of being 6 weeks ago, who I became. And it's almost like, again, going back to the analogy of the statue that was all, you know, like you've chipped away at so much cement around you. The only way through is forward, you know. So we're just absolutely championing you on, because as Sam said, like, you know, everybody brought something so special, but your wisdom, your shares, it was like mic drop, mic drop, mic drop. I was like sat there with my mouth open, you know, Sam, you're writing. You know, you just amplified the experience for all the ladies. Irene and myself and Sam are incredibly grateful for you coming on and opening your heart up to the ladies and sharing, you know, your experience, wisdom and knowledge with us all. It was just
it's just stunning. Like, what you express has such deep wisdom, but you're also extremely captivating. So you have this double gift going on. It's just like you can't stop watching you and listening, but also the energy and it's just this whole package. So I'm super excited to see where you go with this now. It's very beautiful. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So Irene, just to finish, for anyone that's on the cusp of jumping in to the course, what advice, what wisdom would you share with to help them make a decision?
Well, I would say, we don't get many of such opportunities. So you are opening a situation that is really, really nurturing and can really help us, decide with a lot of awareness about what we're doing, not allow life to happen to us, but decide, choose how we want it to move forward. So I would say, it's a beautiful opportunity. Take it.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, lovely. And we can't wait to have you on the full podcast. Watch this space, people. She's on her way.
Well, Irene,
So
thanks
good.
again for coming on the journey with us and for coming on tonight and sharing your experience with Discover Your Superpowers, darling. And like Sam says, let's get you on the main podcast and let's have a deep dive. Can't wait.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, my love. Thank you so much. And thank you all so much for listening. And we will see you all soon on the next Rise Tribe podcast.
Perfect. Thank you.